On the one hand, the Quran says that there is no compulsion in religion, and on the other hand, the hadiths which say that the apostate should be killed.
Dr. Shabir, welcome to Let the Quran Speak.
My pleasure to be on.
We're looking at some hadith within the authentic hadith collections that seem a little bit problematic from an Islamic worldview, Dr. Shabir. And now we're going to look at the topic of apostasy. And the idea, I guess, is that the understanding of apostasy in some of the hadith seem very different from what is proposed in the Quran. So this raises questions in our minds about, which one is accurate, right? Which one is the true Islamic understanding of how we should view people who leave the religion.
Yes, and previously we talked about attempts to reconcile things. So there are also attempts to reconcile if the Quran points in one direction, the Hadith points in another direction. Some of our great scholars, we respect them, we love them, we learn from them. They have tried to show how the two can be reconciled. But we must ask whether that proposed reconciliation is really a genuine one or it's really quite artificial. And in this case, we will see that it's quite artificial. And what often happens with such reconciliations is that there is a sort of compromise both ways. See, if two things are not fitting, you can shave one or you can shave both to make them fit. And what often happens is that the Quran is slightly shaved in order to make room for the hadith to fit. So if we read the Quran alone, you would not get the impression that apostates should be harmed in this life by any government polity, whether the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, or anyone else. As for the Prophet, peace be upon him himself, the Quran tells him, وَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ. You should remind people, for you are only a one to remind. لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. You are not a supervisor over them. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, does not have that authority to compel people to believe in the faith. The Quran makes even a general statement about this, La ikraha fid din, in the second chapter of the Quran, the 256th verse. Now, this is a very broad and emphatic statement. In Arabic, when we say something like La ikraha, and we end with the a vowel in that statement, that's a kind of absolute negation. It's almost the same as when we say La ilaha. We
there is no God.
Yeah, there is no God. So you notice the a ending, ilaha, at the end there. So it's an absolute negation. So when the Quran...
So no compulsion.
Yeah, no compulsion. Absolutely no compulsion in religion. Something that is lost in the English translation, of course. It goes without saying that you translate from one language to another, you're going to do something. And this is something that is lost here in the translation.